Hello everyone and welcome to our final piece of our adult presentation project, and this is the oral video part. At the end of these videos I'll be able to put the links so you can be able to find part 1 and part 2 easily. So I decided to put this slide in because I wanted to share with you who I interviewed and what the interview took place. And I decided to go with my estranged father's father, which is my grandfather. He was 76 years old, going on 77. The interview lasted for about 45 minutes, and we decided to do it over the telephone just because, over the circumstances that we were in, and I wanted to make sure that safety was number one, not only for me, but for him. And I went over the consent form, and then he gave me verbal consent to continue with this interview. I wanted to say that by the end of it, I really felt connected to him because I knew him, but I didn't really know him, what his life was like, what his struggles were, and what he was like growing up. So I did really appreciate this project because it really helps me be more connected to him. So he's not only my estranged father's father, but he's my grandfather. So I did appreciate this project. So the developmental stage for Erikson I decided to go with was stage 8, which is integrity versus despair. This is basically where they're at the point in their lives where they're reflecting on what they have done. They would take inventory of their successes, what they did that was successful to them, what was great. Those who are satisfied with the outcomes, they have a sense of peace. They knew that they did everything they could, either raising their family or their work. And those who do not have a sense of despair, they regret lost opportunities, what they could have done in their youth or what they could have done a few years ago. So that they would have that sense of despair. So for my grandfather, there were more integrity than despair. There were a lot of he was at peace with. There were a lot of missed opportunities, such as finishing school, because he did drop out at the 6th grade. So he never really got a high school diploma or continued a higher education. And there was also a point where he wanted to continue his military career, which I'll go over in a little bit. But at the end of the interview, he learned to accept what could have been changed and what could not. He was at the point of his life where he was at peace with what he did, and even though there were some missed opportunities, the outcomes would have been different if he did them. So the challenges he's facing in this in the 8th stage of development is he has chronic health issues that caused him to retire early from a job that he worked for over 30 years with. And there was also taking care of my grandmother, who also has some health issues of her own. So that took on a lot of stress for him because he was her primary caregiver and also his wife. And there was also a conflict with his sons throughout the years. But as I said before, he didn't have an education to fall back on. He just took up jobs, whatever they can have him do. And there was also conflict with wanting to continue his military career. He was in the military, and then the War of Vietnam happened. So there was a time where he could have re-enlisted. He was a sergeant training recruits in Texas at the time, but when he told his superior said that he might not stay where he is and might happen to go to Vietnam. And so he decided to leave and go home. But he did tell me, he said, he was talking about, did I do the right thing? And there was a lot of that conflict. Like, should I have stayed in the military? Should I not? Or the outcomes would have been different if I stayed? So. But his accomplishments were that he used the resources he had to take care of his family despite the disadvantages. Like I said, he worked a lot of jobs in the past, and that gave him what he needed to support him and his family. So, and that also brought out a sense of wisdom, and that because of that experience he was able to reflect on what he did and reflect on what he did in those experiences and what he could do to make it better. And also having grandkids, because even though we didn't live the same life, he was glad of the accomplishments and the opportunities that we have, such as continuing our education. I think that also gave him a sense of peace, knowing that although he didn't have that, there's someone of his family that did have that. And he was a hard worker. He did a lot to support his family of what he had. The psychosocial crisis that he had were his health conditions. He had to retire in 1996 from a job that he worked with for over 30 years. And so, since that happened, he had to find other alternatives to support his household. He had to look for other jobs that could be able to have him on despite his health conditions. And so that was a big challenge he had to work with through most of his life. Well, part of his life, I would say. I think education influenced his social class. He did not have as many opportunities as those with a high school or college diploma, as I've said. So it influenced where he lived, what kind of job he had, and what he had to do to support his family. His age also limited opportunities for jobs. At his age of 76, there's not many jobs that a person can do. He can't do anything with heavy lifting or where he's on his feet all day. So he had to work around some alternatives to how to bring money into his house. He also, with his family, he also felt heavily burdened because although his health conditions were a setback, his wife was retired and she was having some health issues of her own, and her sons were still living at home, but they did not work. And he felt like taking care of the household was mostly on him at that point. At his age, it was a very tough responsibility to make sure that all the bills were paid, they had food, they had heat. So it was a big responsibility for him. But his family also helped his aspirations and opportunities. Us as his grandkids helped give peace to lost opportunities, such as furthering their education. It gave him hope that, his family can continue to have these opportunities and these achievements that he didn't get to have. He also helped my family be able to get a place to live, because at some point, the point of time, we were homeless. So he did a great burden to help us find a place to live and help, for us to pay the mortgage on it. So he still works to provide for the household and take care of his wife. It was a job that he had to work with for, he only worked 2 weeks, and then he quit because my grandmother fell and broke her hip. But like as I said before, there are also job opportunities for him, even, yeah, despite his age. And his son, which is my father, he stays there and works, so that eases the stress off of him as bringing money into the house. So overall, I think the family did help to get where he is at this point in this stage of his life. So yeah. An additional theory that I added was the social learning theory. Is related to classical and operant conditioning created by Albert Bandura. This is where people learn from their environment by watching others. And an important term from the book is self-efficiency. And this is where people's expectations that they can perform a job successfully, and that they did what they could to make it work. How social learning theory applied to my grandfather's life was watching how his father takes care of his family, was that sense of a role model for him at an early stage of his life that he would follow through until he had a family of his own. There was also joining the military, when at that point, there were a lot of youth joining the military when, they don't have anything else to do, or they didn't know what to do with their life at that point. So he also took up that role by seeing others and also joining the military as well. He also obtained self-efficiency through life experiences. It helped perform well in his work in other areas of his life, and being a hard worker most of his life and taking care of his family reinforced that feeling of success. He did what he could with what he had to support his family, and that helped him in the long run. Some theory limitations for Erikson is that since there are many individual differences in human development, just placing them in only 8 stages can leave out valuable information. Like, some things you just can't cram into only 8 stages. There's so much more information that is being left out of these stages, such as like children and their youth and their adolescence. There's a lot more developmental information that would have been left out. The theory is also abstract and can be difficult to test. You have to put in a lot to be able to put it in there, but I'm going to continue this in part 2 in just a few seconds.